Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Live at 1 p.m. with Central PA Theater Fest and Tempest Productions. I'm Cynthia Mazant, and I have with me Paul Marcinkiewicz. Say hi, Paul.
Hello, everybody.
So we haven't been here since June, but we are now back every Friday at 1, except for Thanksgiving and Black Friday. We'll skip that one and let you go shop on your own. We will pitch the arts organizations that you can shop at that day, but there's where we are and who we will be. So 10 to 15 minutes every Friday at 1 p.m. We're going to meet with an artist or meet with an organization. We're going to talk about upcoming events and look back at some other things. Today, we have with us from the Blue Brick Theater and Happy Valley Improv, James Tierney. Come on in, James. Let's bring him in. He can't come in. There he is.
There we are.
James. Hello, is our business manager right now and one of the founders, I believe, of Happy Valley Improv. With Central PA Theater Fest has been with us, we're going on 5 years now, hard to believe. So let's talk about improv, let's talk about Happy Valley, and let's talk about the Blue Brick Theater. I'm just going to send it over to James.
Sure. Well, thank you so much. Happy Valley Improv, we just ended up going through our 4th year. We have now been an official business here in Happy Valley, in State College, for over 4 years, meaning that the 4 of us that started it, we finally vested and everything's cool and we've made it. That was our first hurdle. Let's make it 4 years. And this past year, we had the opportunity to take over a space in Calder Way to create a theater. And instead of calling it, the Happy Valley Improv Theater, we decided we wanted it a little more broad, and so we opened up the Blue Brick Theater. And I figured today what I can do is I can give a little bit of a tour to people who may not have been inside yet. So, hopefully the Wi-Fi works well. And it keeps it. So look, we're outside, so we could see the nice sign. We're at 209 Calder Way, and we come in. And we have a nice little lobby with the telepoem booth. If you don't know anything about the telepoem booth, you should stop by. You can hear local poets reading some of their own and some famous poetry. We have a very snazzy concession stand. This is probably the best box office that anyone has ever seen at a theater.
So what do we have for sale there?
Yeah.
We have some pop and we have some candy. But we're BYOB, so if you wanted to have a bottle of wine or a 6-pack, you could bring that as well. We do have some really cool merch, some hats and everything that's hanging up.
I see a nice hoodie.
On a clothes rack that we found here. So then we come in. We have a little tech booth. I don't know, can't see that much. Little tech booth over here. But the main part, which people care about, is this wonderful stage that's behind me. My camera is backwards, so every time I move one way, I'm moving the opposite way. And so this theater that we have, it seats, right now we have it seating 45. We could get up to about 70 if we wanted to. So this is me on the stage. A little green room in the back. You can see our wonderful flower chair with a printer on it, because if anyone's ever been in a theater not in a show night, there's a lot of things that go on. And all this wonderful exposed brick. So if you haven't been down to the Blue Brick Theater, we would love to have you come on down. We do shows every Friday night at 7 p.m. Awesome. There is a vaccine mandate, and we follow the borough's masking ordinances at this point. So yeah, that's your tour.
Yay! So it's a great space, and you guys took this over in July, is that correct?
Yeah, so we took over the lease officially in May, and we had a 2-month build out. Mm-hmm. This is the old Makery space, and they moved into MLK Plaza. And luckily there wasn't a lot. It was just a big square, right? It's a big rectangle. So we didn't have to do a lot of demo. We cleaned the place top to bottom, a super thorough clean. We painted everything a darker theater-y color, had the stage built, and put in this nice curtain system to kind of dampen the sound and to make it feel more this black boxy theater. Everything, with all that stuff took us about 2 months, and we Our grand opening was what would have been Arts Fest weekend, 8th and 9th of July. We did 2 shows, and then we've been doing shows every Friday night since then.
And that's it. So it's every Friday night, right? There's a different kind of improv. Tell us a little bit about the type of improv that happens on Friday night.
Sure. So every Friday night is a 90-minute improv show. We do 3 sets, and we have different teams that are made up of different members of our company or the community as a whole. Right now, we have 18 members who have company membership, is what we call it. They've just been through our levels 1, 2, and 3, and now practice with us on Thursday nights, and they have the option to form their own teams. But we also invite teams from the community if they want to do improv with us, fill in those slots. And so you're going to see something different every single Friday night, because even if it's the same team, right? Like tonight's show has Alone in a Church, which is the 4 founders. And so we've probably done, 50 shows now over the last 4 years, but every single one is different because it's improv. And so we love that.
So I know as actors and as performers, most of us know what improv is, but if anyone's actually paying attention, what exactly happens in comedy improv versus theater improv?
Ooh, I love that. So Sam Tanner, who's one of our founders, is very much like, hey, improvisation does not have to be comedic, and it definitely doesn't, right? So improv is what we do every day of our lives. We go about and we do things without a script, right? We are writing, directing, doing tech, everything at the same time. Now, our shows are inherently comedic because we are, trying to follow the rules that have been established for 100 years as this art form has been around of, bringing big characters, right? Trying to find the funny thing that happens in the scene. And what I tell my students when they start taking maybe level 1 is I say, you all know the person who, like, if you mess up a little word, they're gonna find that and they're gonna like keep piling onto it. I go, that's what we find in improv. Like, you'll be doing a basic scene, maybe 2 people sitting on an airplane. And if you just have a conversation, something funny is probably going to happen. You as an improviser just need to kind of hear that and then explore that. And that's what we do for improv, at least for long form improv.
I know, for me and some of our training, it was always find a few characters that are yours, right? And of course, I always do one big major attitude character. That's my favorite go-to, right? I'm going to be the one that's going to be I'm going to push you. I'm going to be like in your face, have fun, right? Because in real life, I can only do that to my husband, who's now laughing in the background, right? Do you have a favorite go-to?
I do what I think is a really good old woman. So I even did this in practice last night where I bend over, I'll hunch over, and I'll just be talking like this, and I'll say, "Hey, Sonny, what?" And I do this character more often than I probably should. Like, if you come to our shows weekly, at least once a month, that character will come out, because there'll be times in an improv scene where you just don't know what to do. So you just go back to kind of like your comfort zone. Mm-hmm. And there's probably something way back in my mind at some show where I did that character and I got a big laugh. So it's now just ingrained in me, but that would be mine.
Paul, what about you?
Oh, about me? Do I have, wow.
Do you have one?
Do I have one? I don't know. I tend to think, man, do I have a comfort zone? I just try to tend to be goofy. I can do goofy really well. I've got 3 younger kids. So, to try to convince anybody to do anything, sometimes I just have to, make fun of myself. And that's kind of where I go to, maybe.
So we all know everyone thinks this is easy, right? We just get up and do it. It's not as easy as you think when there's an audience there and you want to keep a point going and keep it short, right, and on track. Talk about your classes.
So right now for stand-up, we have 4 levels. So we have levels 1, 2, 3, 4. And the way that we have them set up is the first one is just this is what improv is. This is like having fun. This is for anybody who's out there who just wants to get out of their comfort zone and have some fun on a Tuesday night or a Wednesday night and laugh, join a community. Then a lot of them get the bug and they say, hey, this is really fun. Like, the validation of people laughing at you. And, we've been really building a supportive community here for, almost half a decade now. Like, it's a great time. Then the levels 2, 3, and 4 start to focus on different things. So the way we have it planned out, our artistic directors, Nate and Sam, They built the whole curriculum where level 2 is about taking care of yourself, or it's about me. So how do you build a character? How do you listen to yourself? How do you make sure you take care of yourself on stage? Level 3 is you. So it's how do you take care of your scene partner? How do you make your scene partner look well? How do you listen? How do you respond? How do you build together? And then the level 4 is you build your own kind of form and everything, and you work as a full ensemble. So we have those different levels, and we actually just started doing stand-up as well. Because we had a lot of people interested in it. I love stand-up comedy, the history of stand-up comedy, performing stand-up comedy. So we've put 3 classes now through, and we're going to start doing some more stand-up shows here as well. So that'll be fun.
So if someone's interested in finding out more about classes, Paul, bring it up. We have but it's happyvalleyimprov.com.
Yep, happyvalleyimprov.com/class if you wanted to go directly to the class website. But if you go to happyvalleyimprov.com, right on the top, there's a menu and you'll see classes. Our next classes start, our next level 1 class starts in 2 weeks. So not this coming week, but the week after. And it'll be super fun. We've got 11 people signed up already. So
that's great. So if you want to learn something new, if you've already gone through level 1, right, move on to level 2 and up you go.
That's right.
What's interesting to me, and we're going to, Paul, if we can bring up some of the pictures here. One of the things that I find most exciting, besides the work that you guys are doing, right, because we don't have an improv company in town, is we have a space now. Central PA State College has not had a small performing venue in the 20 years that I have been here, right? The upstairs of the State Theater isn't really a performing venue. It's a room. And this is now a dedicated performance venue. And we're going to take a look at some of the pictures here of these guys in the Telepoem booth, which is also a great place, as James had mentioned earlier, right? And look at that. Great performance space, great casual space. They have a lobby, they have concessions. Ooh. And things you can purchase. And as James said, a BYOB. So thanks, James, for joining us. And I'm going to talk a little bit about their coming event tonight. So
thank you guys so much. I'll see you soon.
So here we go. What's up this weekend and coming up in the next few weeks? One of the things that you can always find is if you go to centralpatheater.com is our events page. So Paul's going to bring that up for us. And this evening at 7 p.m., Happy Valley Improv has their improv comedy show at the Blue Brick Theater. And this is every Friday night. So there's our main page. And in the events page, as you go down, we're going to pull them up and you can take a look at them. So the improv comedy show. And if you click on that, we're going to walk you through how easy this is. We'll pull you up. And there it is tonight, Friday at 7 p.m. And they are under, and James, you can pop back in, or we may have lost him. I believe if we read at the bottom that vaccinations are required, correct, Paul? Can you see that on the bottom? Let me unmute.
Yep, vaccine proof is required for all audience members.
Okay, so they are under COVID and the borough's
yep.
Regulations and protocols. So vaccinations are required to attend.
Yes,
but there's
right.
the information on that. So that's tonight and every Friday night at 7 p.m. Coming October 29th, something near and dear to my heart, mainly because I'm behind it, is Spooky Stories.
Spooky Stories
coming up.
Yes, that should be fun.
Yes, I know. And it's all ages. So reading aloud is important, right? And sharing stories is one of the most important things that we can do with each other. So we're going to be sharing some spooky stories for little ones starting at 6 p.m. At 7 p.m., we move to middle school stories and things like The Legend of Sleepy Hollow. At 8 p.m., from 8 to 10 p.m., we're going to move on to those horror classics, The Monkey's Paw, The Lottery, The Telltale Heart, Occurrence at Owl Creek Bridge. So all those things that we read in high school, and if you remember, you might remember reading it from way back then. So there it is. And that's Spooky Stories. It's October 29th, virtual and completely free. And then the following night, it is just a jump to the left. and a jump to the right, and Adam Swartz Puppets will be bringing you the Saki Horror Picture Show on October 30th at, scroll down a little bit, Millbrook Marsh Nature Center. So at 5 o'clock, I believe that we start with making puppets, and there's a puppet workshop. And I don't know what I'm more excited about. I don't know, Paul, you can tell me what you're more excited about. I don't know whether I want to see Meatloaf's puppet or I want to see Frankenfurter's puppet.
Oh, yeah, that's a tough one. I think Meatloaf would be, I mean, how can you not enjoy that? But yeah, the Frankenfurter puppet, I'm really curious to see what people come up with that, what Adam does. They do such a wonderful job. I'm really excited to see how this turns out.
I know. So that's Adam Swartz and Kathy Morrow of Adam Swartz Puppets, who'll be running both a workshop and then doing a film screening with all of the puppets. And I'm hoping that we get them with us in the next couple of weeks to talk about that and maybe share one of those puppets. Coming up after that, November 1st through the 7th at the Roland Theater and virtual will be the 3rd annual Center Film Festival. Hopefully we'll get a chance to talk to Pearl Gluck in the next couple of weeks. She is an extraordinary artist, and we'll get to hear about her insights on the festival, her vision and mission for bringing this festival here to Central PA. Moving into farther in November, we have November 11th through the 14th, Tuck Everlasting the Musical, which will be at Christ Wesleyan Church. If you have an event that is going on, a performing arts event, add it to our calendar. So you can go right to the calendar page at centralpatheater.com. You can add an event and you can check out all of the events that are posted there. And that's what's coming up in the next few weeks. So join us every Friday at 1 p.m. Paul and I will be here. We might have puppets next week. I'm not sure yet, Paul, where we're going, right? And hopefully we'll have another guest. And today we're going to leave you with a little look back at the June Central PA Theater and Dance Festival and all of the artists that were with us. We'll see you next.